जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद वंदे गुरून् ईशभक्तान् ईशानीशवतारकान् तत्प्रकाशां तत्शक्ति कृष्ण चैतन्य संज्ञकम् ग्रन्थिरारम्भकोरि मङ्गलाचरण गुरु वैष्णव भगवान तीनेर स्मरण हय विघ्न विनाशन अनायास सफल निज वांछित पुरन नम ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चातदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, dear worshipful devotees, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Sri Caitanya Caritamrita Adi Lila, chapter 7, entitled Lord Chaitanya in 5 features. And we have read till text number 51. And we're going to read from text 52 onwards. So, just to give a brief background, the Lord is at Varanasi in the house of Tapan Mishra. He spent good time with Sanatan Goswami, gave instructions for almost 2 months. But then suddenly Chandrasekhar and Tapana Mishra expressed their concern that, Lord, we are very unhappy. Why they were unhappy? Because the Mayavadi sannyasis were continuously blaspheming the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, they were unhappy. A devotee can never tolerate the blasphemy of Vaishnavas or Guru. So they were unhappy to hear the blasphemous words. And that's where we paused last time. So we'll continue from here. Iha shuni rahe prabhu ishat hasiya sei kale eka vipra milila ashiya. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Well, while Tapan Mishra and Chandrasekhar were thus talking with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he only smiled slightly and remained silent. At that time, a Brahmana came there to meet the Lord. Purport. Because the blasphemy was caused against Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he did not feel sorry, and therefore he was smiling. This is ideal Vaishnava behavior. One should not become angry upon hearing criticism of himself. But if other Vaishnavas are criticized, one must be prepared to act as previously suggested. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very compassionate for his pure devotees, Tapan Mishra and Chandrasekhara. Therefore, by his grace, this Brahmana immediately came to him. By his omnipotency, the Lord created this situation for the happiness of his devotees. Hare Krishna. So as we were talking, these people were blaspheming the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. These Mayavadis were criticizing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and hearing this, their hearts were breaking. So we discussed this point in great detail that one should never criticize devotees or Supreme Lord or anything in connection with Krishna, prasadam, festivals, programs, because everything connected to Krishna, especially as devotees, Krishna says, my devotees are my life and soul. Love me, love my dog. Hmm. If someone says, I am a devotee of God, I'm a devotee of Krishna, but I don't respect Vaishnavas. Krishna says that person is not my devotee. But if someone respects his devotees, that actually, Mad Bhakta Pujyatika, that person is actually a devotee of Lord Krishna. One who has the mood of the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the gopis, who are the dear servants of Krishna. Gopir Bhartur Padikamalayo Das Das Dasanu Das. So now the blasphemy the devotees could not tolerate, but the Lord just smiled. See, the Lord does not tolerate blasphemy against devotees, like Jagai Madai's story. When Nityananda Prabhu was hurt, he immediately got Sudarshan Chakra, about to kill Jagai Madai. But when these Mayavadi philosophers or sannyasis or blasphemers are blaspheming him, then he's just smiled. This should be the mood of, personally we should, like Haridas Thakur. When he was being beaten in 22 marketplaces, he did not say anything against them. But Lord Chaitanya could not tolerate that. Lord Chaitanya could not tolerate. Anywhere we see this, we always this is seen that the devotee personally tolerates the blasphemy himself, but for others he's strict. But often what we do is opposite. If someone is blaspheming Guru, oh, they can take it easy. No. But if someone blasphemes us, we get very angry, very defensive. How dare you say this? If someone blasphemes Prabhupada, we should not tolerate that. We should not tolerate blasphemy against Vaishnava, against Guru, against our authorities, Krishna conscious authorities. They should be very strict. So, but to us, if someone says, "Hey, Prabhu, your classes are like third class," okay, we should tolerate. Thank you. Thank you for giving me. I'll try to improve. But if someone says, no, no, that devotee is very bad, you know, or Prabhupada, no, if someone says bad thing, we should not just like cut, like don't let it go. Either if you can defeat, defeat. If you can't defeat, leave the place. That's the recommendation in the last verse. If you can't defeat, then leave the place. Don't hear, because that hearing is going to pollute us. It's going to cause damage to our consciousness, our bhakti lata. And conditioned mind always wants to hear. He said, you know what that Mataji does, you know what that Prabhu does, you know. So the conditioned minds like this gossip, conditioned mind like that. But no, Lord Chaitanya did not. So for himself, he remained, he gently smiled and remained silent. And the Brahmana came. So who is this Brahmana and what happened? We'll see in the following verses. This is ideal Vaishnava behavior. Because it was cast to himself. One should not become angry upon hearing criticism of himself or oneself. But if other Vaishnavas are criticized, one must be prepared to act as previously suggested. So what are the previously suggested? Defeat or run away if you can't defeat. I mean, that's a simple way we can say. I mean, scriptures even go to the extent you can cut the tongue of the person, not encouraging that and get into legal problems and whatnot, right? But the simple answer is either stop them or you just stop hearing and leave the place, right? Don't entertain nonsense, in short. Nonsense behavior, nonsense words should not be entertained, especially when they are against devotees of Krishna. So the Lord the Lord wanted to help Tapan Mishra and Chandrasekhar because they came with her. So let's see what happens. Any comments so far? Any comments, questions? I tried to cover a few things in the previous verses since some of you may have missed that. Okay, let's read 53.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can try, Prabhu.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dhanvat Pranam, devotees, all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Asai Nivedana Kare, Asai Nivedana Kare Charane Dariya, Eka Vastu Magona Deha Prasanna Haya. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Brahmana immediately fell at the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and requested him to accept the proposal in a joyful mood. Purport: the Vedic injunctions state Tad Vidhi Pranipatena Pariprashnaya Sevaya. One must approach a superior authority in humbleness. Bhagavad Gita 4.34. One cannot challenge a superior authority, but with the great submission, one can submit his proposal for acceptance by the spiritual master or the spiritual authorities. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is an ideal teacher by his behavior, and so also are all his disciples. Thus, this Brahmana, being purified in association with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, followed these principles in submitting his request to the higher authority. He fell down at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then spoke as follows. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for reading. Any comments you have here?
I'll just mention two statements which were coming into my mind while I was reading Prabhuji. I recall His Grace Pran Govind Prabhu in one of his class he was mentioning, and you always quote as well, in front of spiritual master. We should act like a fool, but we should not be a fool to a spiritual master, though we it doesn't matter in which state of mind or in which state we are in this material world, but we still have to act like a fool in front of a spiritual master. But we should not become a fool to the spiritual. That was coming into my mind, Prabhuji. And it's quoted that with the pranipatena, humbleness, you mentioned multiple times in many of the shlokas that we read. We have to approach with humbly, with humility, and that way it's very easy to impress, to get their attention, and to change their way of approach if we are in a humble attitude. So to please the spiritual master, of course they are very elevated, but from our end we should be very, very humble. That's all, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Yes. So basically here we see Tapan Mishra Chandrasekhara and this Brahmana. They're approaching the Lord with some request, right? The Lord is tolerant. The Lord is okay, but the devotees are here are not okay, right? So you can say there is basically like a difference of opinion. I mean, then technically there is no difference of opinion because ultimately their goal is to serve Krishna and serve Lord Chaitanya. They're not. It's not saying okay, we are going to do some something against bhakti. But here, even in the bhakti, the Lord is okay. The Lord is happy and smiling, right? That's what it is. But their heart is burning. They are paining. They're right. In a spirit, it's a very It's a healthy emotion to serve the Lord. But still, they cannot say, hey, you can't tolerate this. You need to take out to do some action, right? There is a way to communicate, especially to these spiritual superiors, right? There's a way to communicate for everything, right? Even to anyone, like to child, to husband, to wife. I mean, that's what we will learn in the last few days. There is a way to communicate for everything, right? Prabhu, His Grace Partha Prabhu, and Uttama Mataji, who were our teachers for the seminar, say, even if you have to fight, fight in the mode of goodness. Even if a difference of opinion, but try to have that in the mode of goodness. So you don't get to, lower levels. Very interesting seminar, very, very nice. A lot of things to learn. So the point here is humility, right? Humility is the essence of bhakti. The other day we were talking about, most of you were not there, so I'll repeat this point. Lord Vishnu travels on Garuda, right? Garuda is the carrier. Who is the carrier for Ganesha? Hmm?
Rat, Prabhuji.
Yeah, the rat, mouse, Mushaka, right? Who's the carrier for Lord Shiva?
Nandi.
Nandi, the bull. Now, who's the carrier for Bhakti Devi or Bhakti? Humility.
Humility.
Yeah.
The humility. Hmm? Humility is the carrier of Bhakti. Vidya Vinay Sampanne. Vidya Dadati Vinayam. Vidya Dadati Vinayam. Knowledge should give humility. One time His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu was giving the graduation certificates for the the graduates, those who did complete Bhakti Shastri course. It's basically 4 books: Bhagavad Gita, Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction, and what Nectar of Devotion and Ishopanishad. So these 4 books, those who study nicely in this proper system, many devotees do. Some of you have done, and if you feel inspired, you can also do. So anyways, so it takes about 6 months to 12 months to complete that. On a fast track, it may even take 3 months. Anyways, so he said, giving you this certificate, so and so is certified Bhakti. They have completed successfully this course, Bhakti Shastri. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Very good, very good. Nice. In the end, he said a very nice thing. He said, this certificate is not even worth the paper it is printed on, the value of the paper it is printed on, let's say 50 cents. If after obtaining this certificate, we feel, now I'm a special devotee, now I'm better devotee, now I have this certification which others don't have, new people don't have, or some of my seniors also don't have this. I have even grown more than them, right? Now I know more verses than many in the congregation. Now I can give better class. Now people will say a lot of more Haribol to me because I can quote more verses because I've learned verses in this course, right? Now I have better understanding. Now I know more. Now I am better devotee. If that attitude comes after getting the certification, then it's null and void. So the mood is said. Now, if you say, oh, get to wash dishes in the temple, no, I'm a Bhakti Shastri Prabhu. Give me something worth my qualification. You're giving me this anyone can do, right? So, Vidya Dadati Vinayam. Knowledge should give humility. Humility and service attitude is the essence of Bhakti. Pranadapi Sunichena, Taroriva Sahishnuna. Tadvidhi pranipathena hari prashnena sevaya. See, both things are coming. Pranipat, to fall down in humility. Tadvidhi pranipathena. Pariprashnena, ask questions. Sevaya, do render service also. Dekshanti te jnanam jnananas tattvadarshina. This is the mood Lord Krishna says how one should approach a guru. So humility and service attitude are very essential ingredients. Humus, another thing to learn, humus means the soil. In the soil of bhakti, in the soil of humility, the seed of bhakti lata bij will nicely grow when there is humility. When there is no humility, it's opposite pride, then nothing's going to work. Nothing is going to work. Even our chanting, reading, hearing is not going to work. We don't have that humble opinion. And we also learn here how to approach, even if sometimes we have a different perspective. One should approach superior authority with the appropriate attitude. One cannot challenge, hey, you're not doing this right. Are you in your senses? Right? No. Even if you have a different perspective, like here, their perspective is different. They don't want the Lord to be just, smiling and remain silent. They want the Lord to do something, right? They are not basically agreeable with the Lord's in one sense, right? Can we say that? They want the Lord to do something about this situation because their heart is drowning in the, you know, in the ocean of sorrow. But how they approach the Lord, how they approach the Lord is very important here.
Prabhuji, can I add something?
Yes, please.
Um, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, in another discussion of, I'm on the Bhagavatam Canto 1, and we were reading how Arjuna was lamenting after Krishna left, and Arjuna was, in his lament, Arjuna was saying that I um, I could get the hand of Draupadi because Krishna gave me the power. And then he was saying, I fought great warriors in Kurukshetra because Krishna gave me the power. So he was saying every great thing that he had done, he was saying that I could do this because Krishna gave me the power. So in that discussion, we had discussed that like Krishna, when we do something, we achieve something, or someone says good things about us, we should always give the credit to Krishna, to our Guru, to senior Vaishnavas, and to other devotees. So that is another aspect of humility. Back to you, Prabhupada.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. It's a very, very nice point. Absolutely. Because we cannot handle that. If we think it belongs to us, we'll burn ourselves. His Grace Gauranga Prabhu says this. It's like a hot potato. Hmm? It's like a hot potato. If you keep it with yourself, then it'll burn you, or hard chark, or whatever. So we give it to our guru, our Diksha Guru or Shiksha Guru. They don't keep it to themselves either. They pass it on to their guru. They pass it on to their guru. And like that, it ultimately goes to whom it deserves or whom it belongs. And that's Bhoktaram Yagyatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He can digest all the glories because he is the supreme Lord of everyone. So we have to always pass on because whatever we are a blessing. We are an instrument in the hands, right? As Prabhupada said, nachao, nachao, nachao se mate. I am like a doll, like a wooden doll, like a puppet, right? So the puppet is moves because the puppeteer pulls the string, like right hand string, the right hand goes up. Puppeteer pulls the left hand string. So the puppet ear is making the puppet dance. That was the mood of Prabhupada. And just think about, Prabhupada, when he wrote this poem, he did not have any followers. It's not that he was thinking, later thousands of devotees are going to glorify me about this poem, right? And just think about this was before he even landed at US in US. That was his mood because that's the pure Vaishnava. In, out, same. Before, after, same. So, as you gave so nicely the example of Arjuna, or the example of any great devotee, they'll always see this mood. They'll always have this mood that it is only the mercy of my spiritual master. Like therefore we say this prayer, Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam. Right? Hmm. By the mercy of Guru, anything can happen. So one should always be cognizant of the mercy of the Guru and never forget. Thank you. Anything else? Anyone else wants to share? Yes, Polly Mataji can read the next verse.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. সকল সন্ন্যাসী মুয়ে কইনু নিমন্ত্রণ তুমি যদি আইসো পূর্ণ হয় মোর মন। Translation: My dear Lord, I have invited all the sannyasis of Benares to my home. My desires will be fulfilled if you also accept my invitation. Purport: This Brahmana knew that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the only Vaishnava Sannyasi in Benares at that time, and all the others were Mayavadis. It is the duty of Grihastha to sometimes invite sannyasis to take food at his home. This Grihastha Brahmana wanted to invite all the sannyasis to his house, but he also knew that it would be very difficult to induce Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to accept such an invitation because the Mayavadi sannyasis would be present. Therefore, he fell down at his feet and fervently appealed to the Lord to be compassionate and grant his request. Thus, he humbly submitted his desire.
Haribo.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for reading this beautiful verse. So, what is the Brahmana asking or requesting the Lord? What's the request? Anyone?
To come to their house
Join
to the food.
Yes, to come to their house. And yeah, he had invited other sannyasis also. The others here referring to Mayavadi sannyasis. But at that time, practically, I mean, even till date, Banaras is like the seat of Mayavada, right? There are a lot of, not generalizing everyone there, but their majority are still in that thought or philosophical idea. So, a few lessons here: how to invite. We first prostrated and submitted. We cannot demand, right? Hey, you have to come. We can only request or gentle request, Lord. I'll be very, very blessed and fortunate and grateful. This is how a devotee should feel when one gets a chance to serve devotees, sannyasis, brahmacharis, who are genuine Vaishnavas, who are trying to share the process of bhakti. You're trying to be genuine followers of Lord Krishna and his genuine followers. One should try one's best. This is the purpose of a home. What is the purpose of home? In the previous days, you know, there were no doors in the homes or there were no locks. Anyone, Atiti Devo Bhava, that was culture. That's Vedic culture. Anyone can come. If they are hungry, they can come. They can honor prasad. The grihastha must go out before honoring their lunch or dinner. Is anyone hungry? Is anyone hungry? And if they come, if anyone is hungry, they first serve them. That is Vedic culture. There are so many examples like Shibi Maharaj, etc., etc. Now, as per time, place, situation, and in this country where we are living right now, it may not be feasible. Um, we may, and I'm not artificially trying to encourage that either, but at least if and when possible, as far as possible, we should invite devotees at home and engage in the process of bhakti together. What that means is sadhu sangha, nama kirtana, bhagavad shravana. We associate, we get chance to associate, we learn from them, we ask genuine questions, we read Gita, Bhagavatam together. Mm. We so sadhu sangha happens, chanting together, chanting, doing arati, doing bhajan kirtan together, very nice. Then honoring prasadam, serving them prasad, the guests, the devotees, the sadhus, whoever we can do, inviting friends, serving them prasad. And that way the home becomes Vrindavan. That is the simple formula. So, as and when possible, as far as possible, based on one's time, place, situation, one must do. Whether it's once a week for someone, or once a month, or once a quarter, or once a year, that is everyone's individual choice, desire, and one should respect that. The circumstances are different, family situations are different, but at least sometimes one should do. How frequent, that is one's desire. The more, of course, the more the merrier. As we know, with any anga of bhakti, the more we do it, the more mercy we get. So this is the duty of grihastha. As Prabhupada is very clearly writing here. It is the duty of grihastha to invite sometimes, as we discuss, sannyasis to. And when sannyasis come, they're not just going to say, hey, okay, I've come, where is the lunch plate? They're going to have some discussion. And whenever great souls open their mouth, nectar naturally comes out. They're not going to talk about, hey, what's the new movie in town, which car you bought, what's your mortgage amount. They're not going to talk about all that. They're going to talk about Krishna and talk about, the absolute truth, right? Because they're not interested in all those mundane things. They're interested in Krishna, and they travel. I was watching a video, hearing a class I saw in a swam by one Keshav Maharaj. Sannyasis carry danda. There are three dandas, three bamboo sticks, three dandi sannyasi. It's a beautiful meaning Maharaj shared about the danda. So the three dandas represent body, mind, and words, right? Right? BMW. Right? So, and then there's a fourth small one in the top part, which is called the Atma, oneself. So, body, mind, words, and one complete self in the service of Lord. And their danda also means punishment or discipline. The sannyasis also, there are two meanings. One means they live a life of discipline, and they help others, conditioned souls, to get disciplined, right? Like a father or mother or teacher helps their students or children to live a regulated, disciplined life. Therefore, a guru helps the disciples to live a disciplined life, right? Another meaning is the sannyasi stick is made up of wood, bamboo wood, and the Krishna's flute or the flutes are made of bamboo, and flutes emit wonderful sounds. So when the sannyasis travel, they emit through their danda and through their example, through their behavior, they emit or they transmit beautiful sounds of bhakti or Krishna consciousness, the sweet sound of bhakti, Krishna consciousness they emit, they pass on. So one must take full advantage of their association. by serving them, by inviting them to homes as and when possible, or when they are coming in the town, taking their personal association. It's good. YouTube has a lot of, now we can even say, yes, we can hear them on YouTube, but that is absolutely true, and one must. But if and when we get a chance to associate with great souls, we must not lose that chance, whether at one's house or your friend's house, or because they they are like walking tirthas, walking holy places. Tirtham kurvanti tirthani, right? They charge even the holy places. Any comments there? Any thoughts? Yeah. Next. Anyone wants to read 55?
I can read from here.
Yes, please.
না যাহু সন্ন্যাসী গোষ্ঠী ইহা আমি জানি, মোরে অনুগ্রহ করো নিমন্ত্রণ মানি। Translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Lord, I know that you never mix with other sannyasis, but please be merciful unto me and accept my invitation. Purport: an acharya or great personality of the Vaishnava school is very strict in his principles. Oh, sorry, background noise. But although he is as hard as a thunderbolt, sometimes he is as soft as a rose. Thus, actually, he is independent. He follows all the rules and regulations strictly, but sometimes he slackens his policy. It was known that Lord Chaitanya never mixed with the Mayavadi sannyasis, yet he conceded to the request of the Brahmana as stated in the next verse. Back to Prabhuji. Prabhuji, he wants to sing Jai, and if I don't show him, he won't stop. Say Jai, Jai, Jai.
Jai, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai
Srila
Shri
Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai, Samve
Thank you,
Bhakti
Prabhuji.
Ki Jai. Thank you. Thank you. All glories, all victory, Krishna, to devotees, to Lord Chaitanya. So, another beautiful verse here. This Brahmana who is devotee knows that a devotee does not want to waste time in Mayavadi Sangha, basically, right? Na yaha sannyasi goshti iha ami jani. I know this. You don't have anything to do and you don't want to mix with other sannyasi, other non-Vaishnava sannyasi here. Mora anugra, but please be merciful. Kara nimantran, please accept my invitation. So this is the mood. Again, we see humility. It's not, oh, I'm doing all the hard work, I am hosting. Why I should be humble? He should be fortunate he's coming to my home, right? No. The sannyasis are coming to bless us because they are like walking tirthas. We need them. We need their mercy. We need their sangha. We need the dust of their lotus feet in our house. So knowing very well that Lord Chaitanya will not be eager, but still he is like putting up his case. So sometimes we may see, so generally it is not recommended to be in that sangha which is not favorable for bhakti, especially for neophytes. But sometimes, like Prabhupada would also go to gatherings like Kumbh Mela. Kumbh Mela, all those different types of people, different types of devotee come. Many are from the Mayavadi school. Prabhupada would go to places which were not very favorable for preaching. but to get an opportunity to help or serve or share Vaishnava principles. That was the only idea. Not to associate with Mayavadis. So now, where do we draw the line, right? That's a practical question too. Where do we draw the line? And how do we understand, like, should we go or should we not go, right? So how can we understand? So imagine this is like a kabaddi ring. You know, like a, so there are players on each side. How many players are there? I don't know. Let's assume 5 on each side. Okay. So there are players on each side. Some are big, some are small. Let's say this team has. So what is the goal in the match of kabaddi? This person has to go, correct? So imagine this is Krishna, team Krishna, and team Maya or materialist. This, what is preaching? Hey, when we are preaching, we are not in our natural ground, right? Let's say you're preaching on the beach. Beach is not a great place to be preaching. Like, people are drunk, people are in inappropriate clothes, but devotees still go. Why? To spread the mission. But keep in mind, like sometimes one devotee asked Prabhupada, can we go to the bar to distribute books? He said, yeah, you can go. Make sure you come back too. So that's exactly what, this kabaddi match. So you have to touch, that's it, person one. And person two, oh, one, you think, okay, I can touch everyone. Maybe someone like Prabhupada can do, okay, one someone like, now my strength is going down. I need to go back to my home ground advantage. There, we feel nourished. We feel our bhakti grows, our Krishna consciousness grows. When we are not in our natural place, especially we are alone, we'll feel discouraged, right? We'll feel demotivated in bhakti. Therefore, Sangha is very important. Of course, all these things don't apply to the Lord because He is the Supreme Lord, and these don't apply to the Uttamadhikari. They can convert the whole world, like Prabhupada can convert the whole world into pure devotees. But the idea here is pretty clear that sometimes the Lord, although being hard, sannyasis, although being hard like a thunderbolt, Vajrat api kothorat kusumat api komalat, soft like a rose or a flower. Never mixed with Mayavadi sannyasis, but he conceded to the request, so he accepted. Why? We'll see that. Ultimate purpose was to help these Mayavadis. Any comments there? Any thoughts? Anyone has any? Okay, let's read next verse, 56. Would someone like to read 56?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, I can read Prabhuji.
Yes, ma'am.
But before that, Prabhu, I have a small not suggestion. It's like a question or comment, maybe. Like in our congregations, also sometimes some they are not maybe devotees not coming regular basis, but they have a tendency of believing in Mayabad, Prabhuji, Mayabadis. So how we can modify them, or how we can tell them that Mayabad is not correct path of bhakti. So I'm a very ordinary person. I have nothing. No, I don't know anything. I'm very ordinary, Prabhuji. But I'm just asking that questions. How we can believe them that yes, Krishna is a form, Krishna is a two-handed form. Lord Krishna is a personality when he came to in this world or all his incarnations.
That's a good point. That's a good question because in a preaching field, like the programs are pretty much open for all, and someone with this background may come. So let's understand this through time place situation. If that person is humble and open to hearing, see, you can only convince someone if they're open. If they're
Yes.
very rigid and strict in their faith,
Mm-hmm.
then there is no room for discussion. It's like, I know what I'm doing, I know what's right, I know what I'm doing is right. You guys are wrong. Okay, don't argue with such person. It's not going to bring anything good. It's not going to bring anything good as if someone is not open to discussion, it's not going to bring anything good. So that person, Hare Krishna, this is some prasadam for you and Hari Bol. And we should not let even our people who may be like neophyte, gullible, innocent to associate with such people. We should not even allow if they are very if some people they come and they preach wrong philosophy or which are not aligned with Vaishnava principle, and they may be speaking it to 10 other people who may be relatively new in your Bhakti Vriksha group. So one should be strict, you know. A leader has to be sometimes strict. No, we don't have room for such people who are kind of not aligned with the bhakti principles. So that's like the one extreme. But let's say someone is basically heard something here, something there, they are open, they are innocent, then there is some room to discuss and try to. So first of all, are you the right person, right? So I try to understand that. Do you have all the points? Can you sufficiently answer? If not, maybe hear more classes or let someone else maybe answer that. If you think someone else might be in that assembly, might be a better person who is present, let them. Or or you can also do like, okay, connect, later, maybe Shridham Prabhu or if anyone else, like, okay, you can talk to him about this during if they are open to discussion. So take it like one to one, right? Don't take in public because they may feel offended. Hey, like in front of everyone, you're basically saying I'm wrong. They may not like it. They may feel offended. So, and pray for them, give them prasad. If they're open, give them books, point them to certain verses, and let the positive thing flow more, right? What the positive things? Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavad. So ask them to chant. Okay, whatever they're chanting, whatever they believe, fine. Immediately no one changes, right? It takes time. Please chant one round of whatever other things you are doing, whatever Devi Devta you are worshipping, whatever belief you have, please chant 10 minutes every day. That's all my request. I'm not asking you $1 million. I'm not asking you do this, do that. I'm asking you, please, for your own good, just chant 10 minutes. Read for one shloka, 5 minutes a day. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, there's no harm in trying for 1 month, right? With that open mindset, if someone wants to hear, they'll hear. And if someone does not, perhaps they're not ready. And then just give them prasad and the one thing which also we have to understand that we cannot change everyone. Ultimately, Krishna is the doer. So pray to Krishna. Krishna, you are in their heart, right? Please help them. That's what Prabhupada says. Prabhupada said, I don't have words. I don't have qualification, but you named me Bhakti Vedanta. Now, Nama Sarthaka Kori. Now you make Krishna, you make my words so that these people, Prabhupada's accent was not proper, as per, this American style. Like, there's a very heavy accent. Mm. His age was, people don't like to hear old people, especially at that time. Mm. His culture was different, his age was different, his, everything was different. But purity in the heart, right? So purity in the heart and prayerful mood is a genuine self. That that's the main substance. So being prayerful, genuine, Krishna, please give me the right words. Please help me so I can serve. But at the same time, understanding, where I need to invest my time. Let's say in Bhakti Vriksha, 10 people are coming, 10 new people are there. Where would you want to put your time? Same in book distribution, right? Sometimes, His Grace Vishika Prabhu does not encourage, talk to one person for 1 hour. No, we don't have that much time. People are coming and going. We are quick, quick, 1 minute, 2 minutes, that's it. Right? If they're more interested, yes, you'll give more time, but not at that setting. So sometimes, I see devotees and I tell them, Prabhu, Mataji, move on. Don't talk for 15 minutes to one. We don't have time. I mean, it's not disrespectful, but it's practical, right? Mm. And sometimes someone will say, oh, what you guys are doing nonsense here. You don't have to argue. Okay, Hari Bol, thank you. Please pray for us. Give them prasad, Hari Bol, move on, right? We don't have time to argue or defeat that person, or time is, you have to like pick your battles, right? So some battles are not worth fighting, right? Don't fight every battle except defeat. There is Rupa Goswami Sanatana Goswami who say, okay, one debaters came, he say, I am the best in Shastra. Okay, and everyone should sign that I'm the best. If you can't, if you don't want to sign, then you have to debate with me and defeat me. Rupa Goswami said, okay, where do you want me to sign? Sign. This person is better than me, sign. Haribol. End of story. Was he really better? No. But they didn't want to waste their time. Then Jiva Goswami comes, it's a long story, and he defeats them. He defeats. But then Rupa Goswami does not like that. You are in Vrindavan, you're trying to debate. But his motive was different. His motive was that because the Rupa and Sanatana Goswami were being blasphemed. Oh, I'm better than them. They are nonsense. They don't know anything. They proclaim themselves to be great. Jiva Goswami didn't like that. Want to, rip him apart practically. So he defeated him badly. Does that help to connect all these puzzle?
Yes, yes. Yeah. It is
Krishna will give. Sorry.
yeah. Yeah, you were very right that if they are open to hear, if they want to accept what we are saying or partially accept, then it's easy. But if someone is already rigid and saying that don't tell me this, I already know, etc., then we cannot tell them,
Correct.
cannot rectify their misconception. Yes, true.
Yeah. Right. Because for something to enter, the door has to open.
Yeah.
Correct. Right? So think like a door. The door of the heart needs to open for the bhakti to go. And how will the door of heart open when someone is humble? Right? If someone says, no, I know everything, I know what's right, I know you can't tell me anything better. I'm perfect already. Okay, please take prasad, Haribol, thank you. Move on. With that prasad, with that Haribol, that one exchange, step by step, their door of heart will also open, but it will take time. Right? We are also doing service to them, but the way they are able to appreciate and receive. If we tell them more, you're doing this service to yourself and to them also. You might be agitating them. And you might get agitated too. correct? After like spending 30 minutes with them. And in that, we miss other 9 people whose door was half open or almost open, right? So don't try to like forcefully open every door because it will take time. There are a lot of and that's what Lord Krishna says. Give this message to people who have some faith. Shraddhavan jana hai, Shraddhavan jana hai. Right? Shraddhavan. So some faith is required, some openness is required to receive bhakti. Any other thoughts, comments there? Very thoughtful question, Mataji. So I guess we'll pause here for today. It's past 9 and continue tomorrow. I'm very grateful for your association, and I think today is New Year as well. It's the Ugadi, the Chaitra Navratri, the Gudi Padwa. So I wish you all and your families, your friends, your kids, parents, etc. a very happy New Year. May this, as per some of the cultures, Gudi Padwa and Lord Brahma also started to create the universe on this day, actually, as per the scriptures I was hearing. So may this time bring more joy and bhakti in our lives and bring us closer to the lotus feet of Lord Shri Shri Gaurnitai, Shri Shri Krishna Balram, and Shri Shri Radha Krishna, and to Srila Prabhupada. Shri Chaitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samadhi Gaur Bhaktavrinda ki jai, Vansha Kripa Shri Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha, Caitanyam Pavanabhya Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.